Hello students, good morning once again. We are continuing our chapter 12 of class 11, that is mineral nutrients in plants. And as we know that different type of mineral nutrients is required by plant in different amounts. And they also play different functions for plant. Today we will see their function or uses of minerals. So let's see how they are doing different functions for the plants. So first we will study about role of macromolecules. Role of macromolecules. In the previous class, we have studied that what are macromolecules, in which we considered nitrogen, sulfur, phosphorus, potassium. Clear students, these are the macronutrients, magnesium and calcium. So how they play different role in plants, let's understand. So first we will study about nitrogen. The first macromolecule, that is nitrogen. Clear students? As we know that nitrogen is required by the plant in a large amount, and without nitrogen protein synthesis can't occur. Also nitrogen help in the making the base pairs of DNA, which is called as nitrogenous base. Nitrogen has many functions in plants. First, it is a macronutrient, means it is required by the plant in large amount. It has various functions, means it makes the base pairs of DNA. We are called this as nitrogenous base. They are nitrogenous base and made up of purines and pyrimidines. Purines and pyrimidines. These purines or pyrimidines contain nitrogenous base. So nitrogen has many functions. So we will study here in which form nitrogen is taken by the plant and what is the function of this nitrogen, and what will happen if nitrogen is not taken by the plant in a appropriate amount. So let's see. First, nitrogen, it is taken either in the form of nitrous oxide, means NO2 minus or NO3 minus. NO2 minus or NO3 minus. It is taken in these forms, and sometimes it is also taken in the form of ammonium, NH4 minus ion form. It means plant can't or directly take nitrogen. Some nitrogen fixing bacteria are present in the root nodules. After this topic we will study that how root nodule is formed. That's why we call leguminous plants. Suppose the plants of dal, pulses, which we call pulses, like gram, means chana, rajma, peas, all these dicot plants which come under pulses, they have legumes. Legumes means root nodules in which nitrogen fixing bacteria is present, and they fix the atmospheric nitrogen. But although the nitrogen is fixed in the root, but that is absorbed by the plant in the form of NO2 minus, NO3 minus or NH4 minus form. Clear students? And it also the major constituents, as I have told you here, its function. What is its function? It plays an important role in protein synthesis. Protein synthesis, and as well as it has an important role in the formation of nucleic acid. Nucleic acid, you know about two type of nucleic acid. One is DNA and another is RNA. So DNA and RNA can't be synthesized in the absence of nitrogen. So here students, this is about nitrogen. You can simply write that nitrogen is taken in the form of NO2 minus or NO3 minus or NH4 minus ion, and its main function is helps in protein synthesis in leguminous plants, and they have also a great role in synthesis of nucleic acid, which is DNA and RNA. I already explained there that how they help in the synthesis of DNA. Next is your sulfur. Sulfur. It is taken in the form of SO4 2 minus. Dear students, remember one thing. When or while we are describing about any mineral nutrients function, suppose we are studying here role of macromolecules, you should have to remember two things. First thing is in which form that mineral is taken by the plant and what function is performed by them. Like nitrogen, sulfur is also taken in the form of SO4 2 minus. Clear students? And it also helps in the important role in the synthesis of amino acids. Synthesis of amino acids. There are 20 different type of amino acids which play in protein synthesis. 20 type of amino acids which play an important role in protein synthesis. Remember students, 20 different type of amino acids which play important role in protein synthesis, out of which sulfur is needed by for synthesizing methionine and cysteine. Clear students? Methionine and cysteine. Different type of amino acids I have told you. They are as methionine, serine, histine, valine, glutamic acid, aspartic acid. Clear? Then your valine, tryptophan, like this. 20 different type of amino acids are present, out of which these two amino acids can't be synthesized in the absence of sulfur. So sulfur plays an important role in the synthesis of formation of these two amino acids. Means one is methionine and another is cysteine. Clear students? This is also forms the part of peroxidine and coenzyme A. This is also helps in or plays a role in the, or as it is considered a part of ferredoxin and coenzyme A, constituent of ferredoxin and coenzyme A. You can write this, that what is the function of sulfur. Sulfur also plays an important component of vitamins, threonine and biotin. You know about biotin. Biotin means, which is you must heard about keratin, that makes our hair strong. So biotin is the substance which is required by the plants, and that is possible if sulfur is taken by it. So students, here is about sulfur, here is about nitrogen, in which form they are taken and what is their function. Next macromolecule is your phosphorus. Next macromolecule is phosphorus. Phosphorus is also taken by the plant in large amount, and this is in the form of H2PO4 minus, H2PO4 minus, in the form of H2PO4 minus and HPO4 minus, HPO4 minus. Means in these two forms phosphorus is taken. Let's explain. Nitrogen is received by the plant through air, but phosphorus, as I have told you, phosphorus and sulfur, which we just completed sulfur, they are taken directly from the soil and in the form of H2PO4 minus and HPO4 minus. So what is the function of phosphorus? Clear students? It is also an important constituent of the nucleic acids. You must think in your question come in your mind. Ma'am is telling everything for amino acid, nucleic acid, amino acid, nucleic acid. Yes, sulfur, phosphorus, nitrogen. When you will study in class 12th, then you will completely understand that all these minerals is required by not only the plants, we also need this for synthesizing our DNA and RNA. DNA has 3 different types of constituents in it: nucleic acids, amino acids, pentose sugar, nitrogenous base, etc. etc. Also contain phosphate group. So here we are studying about phosphorus, and that is taken by the plant in the form of H2PO4 and PO4 3 minus, and it is the main constituent of nucleotides and nucleic acid. Nucleotides and nucleic acid. This is the main constituent of nucleotides and nucleic acid. Clear, students? And this also present in the cell membrane. Means it forms cell membrane. Without phosphorus, cell membrane can't be formed. So it also forms the cell membrane, and that present in the form of phospholipids. You know, cell membrane is either made up of carbohydrate, protein or lipids. So the lipid is present as phospholipids. So phosphorus has, I have told you here, 2 functions. It is the main constituent of nucleotides. It forms the cell membrane, which is in the form of phospholipids. It also helps in the process of phosphorylation. Phosphorylation means during respiration, when there is ATP is formed. Phosphorylation means ATP or NADPH synthesized during the process of photosynthesis is called as phosphorylation. You will study about phosphorylation in our next chapter. So simply you just remember, it is the energy in this process. The energy metabolism occurs as ATP. Energy metabolism as ATP. Clear, students? So here I have tell you 3 functions. Main components of nucleotide and nucleic acid forms cell membrane, then help in the phosphorylation means releasing of ATP, and it also take part in synthesis of certain type of proteins, not in all. Take part in the synthesis of certain type of proteins. Remember, students, you have write 2 points. If you are describing about macro or micronutrients, then you have to write in points. First point, you can make this first point, that it is taken in the form of H2PO4 minus or HPO4 minus. Then it is function, components of nucleic acids, nucleotides and nucleic acid. Forms cell membrane in the form of phospholipids. It helps in the process of phosphorylation, and it also take part in synthesis of certain type of proteins. So this is about your phosphorus. Next macromolecule is your potassium. So let's see in which form potassium is taken and what is its function. Next macronutrient is your potassium. Okay, students. So potassium is ion, that is written as K plus, and this is also taken in the form of K plus. As I have told you, when you are describing about any macro or micronutrient, then you should have to write in which form it is taken. So it is taken, or it is taken by the plant. It is taken by the plant as K plus ion. Clear, students? Next, we will define its function. It is more abundant in meristematic region of the plant. Means if we found, or if we search, then we can see maximum amount of potassium. It is found abundantly in the meristematic region. In the meristematic region of the plant, means either in the root tip, shoot tip, or in the region of bud formation. So as we are studying about macromolecules, so it is needed by the plant in large amount, and it is found abundantly, means more amount in these tissues. Also in the young leaves, means the leaves which are grows recently. So what is their function? It also maintains potassium, like chlorine. I have told you about 4 criteria. Chlorine helps in maintaining anion-cation balance. Here potassium also maintains anion and cation balance in the cell. So the second function is, here it is taken, how it is taken, here where does it found, and this point explains about what is its function, and it also helps in the second point, you can write, helps in the opening and closing of stomata during photosynthesis. Opening and closing of stomata during photosynthesis. Clear, students? So second function you can write, potassium also helps in the opening and closing of stomata. It also maintains the turgidity. Third point you can write, maintains turgidity. Turgidity, you very familiar about this term. Turgidity means when water enters into the cell, and due to which the cell have turgor pressure, and for this potassium is needed, so it maintains turgidity. Clear? And it also helps in the, or plays an important role in protein synthesis. Plays an important role in protein synthesis. Clear, students? Don't get confused. Again I am telling you that many elements or many minerals have the same function. So I have told you about nitrogen, sulfurous, they also help in protein synthesis. Here potassium also helps in protein synthesis. So don't get confused that many elements have same function. So this is about your role of potassium. Next we will study about role of magnesium. How is magnesium taken, or in which form magnesium is taken, and what is the function of magnesium. So let's see. Magnesium. As you know, magnesium has the charge Mg2+. So it is also absorbed by the plant. Absorbed by the plant in the form of Mg2+. Clear? So what is the different function? It is the main constituent of chlorophyll. Means without magnesium, chlorophyll can't be synthesized in plants. So it is the main constituent of chlorophyll. Students, while I am teaching you, you can take the screenshot for making the notes, and you also send these notes to me. Clear? If you write again and again, then you can able to remember, because this chapter is completely theory. You just try to understand how different minerals have different functions. Although they have some common functions, but they have some distinct functions also. So here I have told you about that magnesium is the main constituent of chlorophyll. We can say that it also maintains the structure of ribosome for protein synthesis. Maintains the structure of ribosome for protein synthesis. You know that ribosome is the main constituent, and without ribosome protein can't be synthesized. So these are the structure of ribosomes, and the structure of ribosome is maintained by what is possible due to which part? Due to the mineral magnesium. Means magnesium plays an important role in the synthesis of protein. It also activates the enzymes for respiration and photosynthesis. Clear? It activates, third point, it activates the enzymes for photosynthesis and respiration. I have told you some minerals are categorized on the basis of activators and inhibitors. Here is the mineral, means here is magnesium, which helps in the activation of enzymes like your nitrogenase, phosphorylase, ribulose, bisphosphate carboxylase, oxygenase, phosphophenol carboxylase, etc. I have told you this enzyme's name. So here it also helps in the activation of which macronutrient? Magnesium helps in the activation of the enzymes which play important role in photosynthesis as well as in respiration. Clear, students? And it is also involved in the synthesis of DNA and RNA. Fourth point you can write, it also involved in the synthesis of DNA and RNA. Clear, students? So you can write the different functions of magnesium and in which form it is taken. Next macronutrient we will study, the last macronutrient, that is your calcium. Okay, students? So next and last macromolecule or macronutrient which is required by the plant is your calcium. This is also taken in the form of Ca2+, and it plays important role in the by increasing the permeability of the cell membrane. Simply you can write taken in the form of Ca2+, taken in the form of Ca2+ by the plant, means plant takes calcium in the form of Ca2+, and it plays or it is helpful in the selectively permeability of, it helps in the selectively permeability of cell membrane. Clear, students? So calcium, due to calcium, the cell is selectively permeable, means it not allows everything to enter into it. It also helps, or it also present in the form of calcium pectate in the middle lamella. Calcium pectate in the middle lamella. Middle lamella is the area between the cell membranes, which you can see in photosynthesis. So calcium pectate is the form which is present in the middle lamella of the cell wall, and it helps in the cell enlargement. In the cell wall and helps in the cell enlargement. So what is the need for cell enlargement? You know that when more substances are absorbed by the cell membrane, then the cell get enlarged, and this is possible due to calcium. So it plays an important role in the cell enlargement. It also helps in the spindle fiber, spindle mitotic fiber. You know about during cell division, the spindle fibers are attached with the kinetochore region and stretch the chromosomes towards the opposite poles. Here calcium helps in the formation of spindle, mitotic spindle in the cell division. Formation of mitotic means during mitosis. Mitotic spindle means thread-like structure which is attached in the chromosome. This is the chromosome. Here the spindles attached. They are possible due to calcium. So formation of mitotic spindle during cell division. Okay students. So the next function of calcium is helps in the mitotic spindle during cell division, and it also required by the meristematic cells. As you know, mitotic type of cell division is normally done or occur in those parts of the plant where continuous growth occurs. So continuous growth takes place either at the shoot apical meristem means on the top of the plant, or either at the root apical meristem. So in these areas the amount of calcium is maximum, and due to the maximum amount of calcium, here mitotic spindle fibers are formed for continuous cell division. Clear students? So last point is it activates certain enzymes in the metabolism. It activates some enzymes for metabolism. This is all about your description of macromolecules or macronutrients, but still while you are watching the video, you should follow your NCERT book. You may found some more characters in NCERT book. These are the common points I have told you to remember. After reading your NCERT book, you can write more points in your notes along with these notes. So students, for today this is all about your macromolecules. We will study about micromolecules in our next class.